Welcome to RVing in New England, the nation's only forum that puts you on stage with some of the biggest names in the RV industry. And now your hosts, John DePietro and Bob Zagami.
It helps if I unmute the microphone.
I know. Well, hey, look, we were going so well.
Right.
We were going so well.
Wednesday night, 7 o'clock.
Wednesday night for almost 10 years. When did we start this gig? What time of year was it?
Huh? When we started it? I think we started like right on January 1st. Whatever year we started, 8 or 9.
I don't know.
8 or 9 years ago.
Who'd have thunk we'd still be here? Surviving.
Unbelievable.
When you think of all the other shows that have come and gone, I mean, they come up and shoop, they go right to the top and then fall right off the face of the earth.
And go up and down. I thought I'd do something different tonight, mainly because I didn't have a lot of time to prepare other stuff. But I called it a, what did I call it? Mid-season checkup.
Mid-season checkup brought to you by.
Oh yeah, we have a sponsor too. Yeah.
Brought to you by
in your best radio voice.
Okay. Tonight's show is brought to you by Seacoast RV, featuring sales, service, and parts located on Route 1 in Saco, Maine. They have park models like nobody else has park models. I was up there 2-3 weeks ago. I got propane and saw Amanda over in the store. The store is stocked with everything you can imagine. And now they've got Winnebago products, the Class C products, as well as several towables. So with that being said, we want to thank our friends, Kenny, Amanda, the whole crew, even the dogs, for being with us. And look I see Tony Barthel here. I just saw Tony.
Did you say dogs? Oh, it's like the happy word from Groucho Marx.
Yep,
dogs.
There you go.
Everybody put up their dogs. Hey, I will be up in Maine, and I'm going to stop in to see Kenny and Amanda and Brittany and Kendra next week. I'm coming to you live from Atlanta, Georgia tonight. I actually did something smart for once. Our trip was going to go 95 all the way from Florida up to Maine. And then this thing called Debbie got in the way. And looking at the forecast, I said, you know what? I don't think I want to go through that. And that was a smart decision. So we went west to Atlanta, and we'll go up through West Virginia. I'm going to visit some friends in Pennsylvania for dinner Friday night, and then I'll be up in Massachusetts on Saturday and be in Maine on Sunday.
You can tell you've spent way too much time on I-95 because you're only going in West Virginia for about 5 miles.
No, I would have had to go through Charleston, Savannah, Charleston, and the Myrtle Beach area, which is going to get 24 to 30 inches of rain in the last 2 days and tomorrow.
Right. Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking.
What are you talking about?
That you said we're going up through West Virginia up to Pennsylvania.
Yeah, over by Hershey.
Yeah, you're going to be in West Virginia for about 5 miles on Interstate 81.
Right.
Okay, you're going to be in Virginia for like 300 miles. You're going to be so sick of Virginia, you're not going to want to see it again.
What's your point? I said we were going to take 95. So we won't get to 95 until the end of 495 in Pepperell or Tewksbury or whatever the hell that Newburyport, whatever that is up there.
Yeah, right at the end. Right?
Yeah, right.
You said we're going through West Virginia.
Well, I am.
For about 5 minutes.
All right. So I should have said we're going through West Virginia for 5 minutes.
Right.
And we're going through.
You know what? Look, you're starting to sound like a TV newscast. You're giving out fake news.
Actually, Bob.
Oh, the wife's chiming in.
Oh, go ahead, May.
I disagree. It's going to be 8 minutes.
Oh, 8 minutes. Oh, in that case,
you're wrong.
In that case, well, we interrupt this program.
Right.
Maybe maybe you'll run into a couple of the cavalcades up there that are running around, that people that are running for president, but we don't want to talk about that.
Yeah. So I'm having trouble reading the small print with my new glasses. I'm still getting used to them. So what do you got for comments? It looks like there's 5.
We got a bunch of comments, but I want to throw out a poll to our audience because we just had this little discussion, my wife and I. about trips that are planned versus RV trips that are planned out, either weeks, months, and in Walter Swenson's case, years in advance. I mean, Walter has every turn planned, okay? Or spur of the moment trips, like on a Wednesday, you say, you know what? After the show tonight, let's go to Maine. Why? Because we can. Because the Friday show is already done. It's in the can, by the way. Don't forget to do your Friday show, okay, when you get done this, okay?
So look at what?
To our audience, just write down planned or spur of the moment, and then we'll take a little poll. But in the meantime, we will.
Now, wait. Time out.
Go ahead.
Before Dante,
Yep.
Conboy, Bartel say anything, because I'm sure they just noticed that I brought this white cup up. So
Okay.
lest you think I traveled without.
What do you got? A half gallon?
Well, but that's going to last me for a week or two. So,
No.
but the only cup I could get from the bar downstairs was this
White
coffee.
paper cup. Yep.
Yeah.
Now, interesting, because when you sent the picture of that pizza you were having, you're probably going to have heartburn for that in a minute, because pizza in Atlanta is
little
not
flatbread, yeah.
okay. But you were drinking beer.
Because they were out of Jack Daniels downstairs, and I forgot that I had the bottle in the car, and I already had the beer opened. So I said, well, that's fine. I'm just going to take the bottle to my room.
The first,
They're very, we're at an A-loft.
right.
Lawrenceville.
First thing that my wife said when you left the note saying I'm at the bar, my wife says, "Do they have Jack?"
Well, they normally do, but
he would change hotels. He would change. If you found out far enough in advance, you would change hotels.
This is a great A-loft, and it's actually across from one of the larger malls that does very well.
Peachtree Mall.
Most A-lofts are the ones we've seen have been in Worcester and Boston and places like that. So they're getting out to the suburbs.
We've got a great studio audience here.
All right, tell us. I can't read them unless I go way up on the bifold.
That's all right. We got Bill Sell here saying good evening, team. We got Dante saying evening all. We got Tony saying gentlemen. He must refer to you and I. Okay, Don and Pat are in Athens, Texas, aka Haiti. So it must be hotter than hell there. Okay. Tony,
I assume if he's back in Athens, he's down at NRVTA.
That's probably Tony. What are you doing? What are you doing in Goshen?
Yeah, but he's there by himself because tonight is the finale rally at Camp Margaritaville in Auburndale, and I've seen pictures of Stephanie and Todd and Tony. Tony's got his family with him. So they have a live in-person audience. They're going to do the final thing live, and I think it comes on right after us on the RV Unplugged YouTube channel.
Yeah. Well, they knew they didn't want to go
and
head to head with us because we streamed them.
Right, and they did, and they had a pretty good crowd. I saw they're using the same event center where we had the Kenny Rogers band. And that's all decked out. They got the cornhole tournament set up, and we got a couple of girl campers in the show, Lisa McDermott, and I forget who her partner is. I don't know. They will announce the grand winner tonight, and they get $25,000, but they've had a wonderful time down there. The only thing missing is Dawn Preby, the general manager who left last month, but she'll pop up again someplace else soon, but Camp Margaritaville is just fantastic. Tony, have you been there in all your travels and all your reporting on stuff?
He's kind of a Midwest guy, though. He's a West Coaster. But he is going to speak at the Frog Rally. Speaking of the Frog Rally.
Well, I'll talk to you about Fred and Willie. I did my, because you were on it, but I did my camper report show with Willie. So I'll talk to you after the show about that.
Yeah. Okay. So coming to you from Goshen, Indiana. Okay. The Frog Rally. Dante, let me know when you're in Maine. We may be in Maine tomorrow. I'm not sure. Maria says, good evening. Jim Conboy says, evening. Sorry, I'm late. No problem, Jim. Only 8 minutes. I mean, we get people that join us at 10 minutes of 8 and say, sorry, I'm late.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Don said, that he said what I said. said they're all in Auburndale. They had a lot of rain. I was going to go up that way and stop off at Auburndale, but that rain went right up through there, and they didn't have any real serious damage, but a lot of people woke up the next morning with a river in front of their door. So
yeah. Now, what do we got here? Wait a minute. We got one thing here. Dante says more like 8 hours in West Virginia. Dante, absolutely not. When you are on Interstate 81.
If you went side to side, Dante, you couldn't go 8 hours.
Right. I know. That's right. Exactly. There's a feeling. It's funny for those of you, and you know what? And this is pertinent because there's so many people from New England that travel to Florida or to the South during the winter or any time of the year. And because of the hassles of Interstate 95, which takes you through George Washington Bridge, New York, New Jersey, Maryland and Washington, D.C., and even Richmond, many of us choose to veer outside and go 78 over to 81. So you're in Pennsylvania for a long time when you're going east to west in Pennsylvania. And then you get down and it says, welcome to Maryland. Okay. You're there for 10 minutes. And then it says, welcome to West Virginia. You're there for 3 minutes. And you say, wow, we're making great time.
Right. We did 4 states today. Wow.
And then you're in Virginia for 381 miles, which is a full day's worth of driving. If you're going all the way down to I-40 to go across to Nashville. So, Dante.
I see Tony says he's a parrot head extreme. Well, I'm a parrot head, Tony, but I'm not sure I'm an extreme. So if Tony's an extreme, he must be one of those people that show up with the coconut bras and tiki bar skirts.
It's scary.
I mean, that's what the real weird ones do, and Tony's kind of weird. So
right, Bob.
I'll bet he does that. Ask
Bob?
Peggy. They probably go as twins, John.
I've been to a Buffett show, okay, and I've never seen more coconut bras and grass skirts in my life, but it was the men that was wearing them.
Oh, yeah. A lot of the guys wear them. Yeah.
Now, there may have been a political convention going on right nearby.
No.
It was cross-dressing or whatever it is, but I think many of those people that go to those shows don't really care, but they have fun. Dante says he plans all the trips. Maria says she does both. Bob is going to Maine. Okay.
I will be in Maine, Dante, from the 11th to the 17th.
Okay, Bob, something's happening to your screen. Are you moving in and out?
I see that. I'm not sure.
Maybe it's the background. I
don't know. May, can you, without doing too much damage, can you close that other screen? I think it's the light. The sun must be coming in a different angle from that other screen.
Coming in, yeah. That's what it could.
We just got to this room, so we don't know how to work all the stuff. So if all of a sudden,
yeah, there you go.
There you go. Yep. Okay, stop.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. So Tony says we do more plan, but want more spur of the moment. Tony drank a couple of Yinglings. Okay. Tony, when I was
too dark.
Well,
no, that's good. When I was with Tony,
stop.
I'm trying, Bob, but
they're automatic on this switch on the wall, and we have no idea what we're doing. No,
now we can't see.
I'm obliterated on the screen.
You look better that way. Go back. There, up, right there.
Stop. Take your hand off. Stop. Go to the other side of the room.
did that work?
Yes, don't mess with it. I'm
Okay,
back.
I won't touch it.
I mean, I don't want the people not to be able to see my pretty face.
Yeah. Bob, when you compare you and the dog, I think people would pick the dog. But
dogs look better.
Okay. Now, Tony says.
What is Frank? Oh, Tony says what?
He drank a couple of Yinglings when we were in Quartzsite together back last January. And then it got liquid courage in him because he went right up to Willie Nelson and was talking to him. Tony, I don't know if you still have a picture of that and you can send it to Bob.
I had it somewhere, but I didn't have time to do any prep tonight.
So Tony's speaking at the Frog Rally. It's 100 degrees without humidity. Folks.
Tony, you'll find Willie Miller at the Columbus and River Ranch display. They got new floor plans and some nice features. So say hello to Willie. I just did a interview with him for the Camper Report Show this week. So he's happy. He's smiling. He's working hard. This is a real job. So he's working real hard.
So Tony
says have been out.
What are you reading?
Out camping. The next one.
Okay, evening.
What does it say?
Says, evening. Oh, you betcha! I have a grass skirt, coconut bra, and shark hat.
Frank's got one too.
Battery-powered blender in our trailer.
You know who I'll bet has that combination? Joe and Rhonda Cabosa. I don't think Jason and Lisa do, but I suspect that Joe and Rhonda.
Oh, and you know who has a blender extraordinaire is Audrey Egan. Foley Egan. Yep. Yeah. I haven't seen them in a while, so they must be out again.
What do you think? What do you think Don means?
He wants to get rid of me.
Oh, he wants to get rid of you. Oh,
yes,
exactly. Like
that's what he means.
Seeing that we're thousands of miles apart, that's not going to work. There you go.
How's that?
Yeah. Okay, we got.
I see Willie out and get a big hug. I will seek Willie out and get a big hug. Okay, Frank.
Yeah.
Oh, you're up at Bailey's. Okay.
How long are you going to be in Bailey's, Frank? Usually, I think you stay a couple of weeks. And if you want, Frank, you can tell the good news about a certain RV, but I don't want to spill the beans if you don't want to talk about it just yet. So if you do, you can tell everybody what I know, or you can just keep them in suspense until you're on some night and you want to tell them. Until what?
Tuesday. He's there until Tuesday.
Oh, he's staying until Tuesday.
Tuesday,
and today's Wednesday. All right, so you'll be there. So this year we got to try to get at least together for a beer or a coffee. I rented a house down in Saco, so we'll get together. So you let me know if you want to talk about the RV at all. And Don Hawes, only kidding, Chef Boyardee. Hey, there was some news today, and I don't think I moved it over yet, but maybe I did. I don't know if you guys heard the news today, but you know how Keystone Cougar did that midnight special?
the black one.
The black one, yeah. Well, for those that didn't see the news today, and if I can find myself here, this is incredible. They have come out with a Heroes edition of the Cougar, full body paint, kind of army green with some black trim. It will be unveiled at the Hershey show, and they are giving $1,000 per unit to wounded warriors to the tune of a minimum. They've committed a minimum of $250,000 up to, so if they don't sell 250, which they probably will, because I think you're going to see veterans jumping all over this thing, but a minimum of $250,000 and a cap of $1 million to wounded warriors. And that was Matt Zimmerman and Scott Taylor's idea. So I got to get a note off to them and congratulate them. But I think
they didn't make it camouflaged.
Yeah. I'm sure somebody's going to ask.
Yeah, camo it.
Ask for that. Yeah. The other piece
now, we may need it.
Yeah. Before we get back into some of the comment communication, the other thing that we did, we actually included it in our Camper Report Show news. Tell them what Winnebago did, John.
With the Connect?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Winnebago's come up with this product called Winnebago Connect, and it's an app, but it's also a device that is on your unit that you can virtually do anything with. It will give you the temperature inside. It'll give you the temperature outside. It will allow you to turn the TV on, turn the TV off, turn the stereo system on, turn the hot water on, turn the hot water off. I don't think it'll work with the microwave yet.
I think it controls every appliance, and
It's absolutely amazing. It's called
And
Winnebago.
because it's an app,
Yep.
if you're downtown having dinner and
Yep.
the wind pops up, well, it's got an automatic awning to come in.
Yeah.
But let's say the temperature gets a little bit hotter than usual and you got your pets in the coach, then through your app, you can turn on the, oh no, that's another one. See, this thing is so unique. Nobody knows what it's all about, but they say it's the first, there's nothing like it in the industry. So let's say you have those parameters set for temperatures in the coach and it gets hot. It will first automatically open up your ceiling vents to start circulating the air. If that doesn't get the temperature down to the desired level, it will automatically turn on the generator. This thing does everything for you. You can get to the campground, grab a beer, sit in the chair, and let this thing go. Level it, turn on everything.
Hopefully it has a rain sensor so it doesn't open your vents and flood you at the same time.
Yeah, they showed a beta of it last year at Tampa. John and I
yeah,
had
we just talked.
You
We
did
just talked about Cougar, and the former Mr. Cougar shows up right now, Kevin Horkey.
Kevin Horkey. Well,
Good evening, guys. Missing my buddies, Bob and John. So
yeah, hey Horkey, you got an open invitation anytime you want to tell us all about the Colemans. I know you wanted to wait till you got to the 2025 model year, but if I have to, I'll just call Jen and tell her that you're not responding to our request. And then she can, talk to Roman, and I'm sure the two of them can convince you that you should probably come on the show. And you probably should do it before the Hershey show because I'm sure you're going to have a big display down there.
He can do it from a golf course where he probably is right now.
Well, that's right. He's got the Wednesday night golf league.
Yep, at
right.
Alcoa. At Alcoa, right? I think it's at Alcoa.
And no, Elkhorn? Yeah, Elkhorn.
Yeah,
Elkhorn.
Elkhorn.
Yeah. So Kevin, are you already done with the match for tonight? And did you win?
Probably 4:00. Yeah.
You saw that, the thing he posted, I want to say about a week ago. He won. I think he won the member tournament this year.
Yeah, member guest.
I don't know the guy that he was golfing with.
Frank Palan says most already know.
Oh,
so maybe you just want to spill the beans and let people know what you're talking about.
Seeing that he didn't tell you, I'll tell you because if everybody else knows, Frank is trading in his DRV custom suites, and he's getting a custom designed fifth wheel from New Horizon. So this man has gone from a Dutch Star diesel pusher to a DRV, and now one of the top rated fifth wheels in the industry, custom design. And get this, he's letting them use it for Hershey. Apparently, they're gonna show. I guess they want to sell more designs. I asked him if he built in a woodworking shop in the back of it because I know he takes all of his woodworking stuff with him. But they're going to show it at Hershey. Then it's going to go back to the factory for a little bit of a touch up and stuff. So,
cool.
He may have it for some late fall. He'll go out and pick it up. But New Horizons builds custom fifth wheels and only for special people. So it's not, we know somebody famous, John.
Yep, exactly. Oh, not Hershey. It will be Tampa. Oh, Tampa. Okay, so
Tampa. Oh, I thought he told me Hershey.
He's not getting it for a few.
I think he told me Hershey the other night.
He's not getting it for a few months. That's why he's probably letting everybody come into the place that he's got now in at Bailey's. Frank,
Right.
Where are you at Bailey's? Are you down in the back there, right on the lake, where all the big units are, where you have your own pool, your own bar, your own restaurant, where you don't even have to come on? That's the thing with Bailey's, Bob, as you know. Once you enter those gates, there's no reason to leave. I mean, they've got basically a grocery store in there. He's got 3 restaurants that I know of. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 pools. He's got a couple ponds for fishing. They've got cabins if you bring another family member that doesn't own an RV. But if you do want to get off, they've got an absolutely free shuttle that'll take you right down to Old Orchard Beach. You can get a slice of pizza or some pier fries and then come back. Oh, okay, he is right down there, 272. Bar side. Yep.
So,
exactly.
but don't forget, Frank's an important person. They probably bring the drinks to his trailer.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't even have to go up to the bar.
Yeah, I don't think, you know what, with the money that they spend on those, I don't think you should call them trailers. I think you should call them
custom fifth wheels.
Yeah, something like that. Just give it a little more respect.
A little bit more respect.
And speaking of respect, I think what we should do is respect our sponsor and actually get them on before we're expected to do so. And
hey, it's Joe from 1019 POR and John, Joe, and Courtney. We're back for another exciting season of Seacoast RV TV. Today's episode is brought to you by the letter W.
As in Winnebago. Did you know that Seacoast RV is once again the award winner of the Flying W Award, which recognizes Winnebago dealer locations that deliver the highest service excellence and superior customer satisfaction? Don't mean to brag, but we're kind of a big deal. Speaking of Winnebagos, how about the Winnebago Access? Come on inside and take a look around. Modern and spacious interior, easier camp setup with all the deluxe features and an outstanding value? You get it all with the Winnebago Access. You know, with so many different models to choose from, though, it can get so scary and confusing. I feel like I need some help.
Hi, I'm Amanda. Welcome to Seacoast RV. How can I help you today?
Selection, service center, and a huge parts and accessory department. No wonder Seacoast RV is once again Winnebago's Flying W Award winner, their highest honor. Find the perfect RV or towable for you and your family with one stop, Seacoast RV. Easy to find, Route 1 in Saco.
Seacoast RV. I'm Jackson.
I did get a clarification from Brittany on that. I think I misled people saying that it was on TV. It is done by WPOR radio, where they advertise on, so they get the soundtrack on there. But it was done for Seacoast YouTube channel, so you can't see that. And I do have a new one. I haven't converted it yet, so starting next week we'll have a new one for their blowout bonanza. And I'll have new graphics for that. So we'll have new graphics and new video for our friends up at Seacoast RV next week.
I'll tell you this, as many times as we've seen that commercial, I still can't unsee my friend there lying spread eagle on that bed. That is just, thank God it's only for like a split second, because he's a big guy. They're hilarious people. We've met them during their open houses the last couple of years. And they're hilarious. They're nice people from the radio station up there. Yeah. And you know what? Everybody at the place, it's a totally different environment from many dealerships that have, salesmen attack you as soon as you enter the parking lot. Everything's open. You go in.
No high pressure. You're right. You don't even have to go in the office. You can just
And with
your car right over to where the park models are and look at every one of them.
With those park models, you need time, because you need 15 minutes in each one of them. It's not like you just come in and look around. I mean, there's so much of an opportunity there to buy something new. Frank says they're booked for 3 more years, and
I'm sure he's talking about New Horizon. Yeah,
the new one. So Frank, unless you've already done so, go up to the office and ask for Galen Bailey. He's the owner. And he's our good friend, and tell him that
Frank's there every year. I'd be surprised, at least the last 2 or 3 years. I'd be surprised if he. I suspect Galen is at the front gate when he's coming in, so he can greet him.
Bailey's. What did I say?
Galen Bailey.
Yeah, but Frank says no Bailey's. What did I say you were at? I know. I thought I said you were at Bailey's.
Yeah, he did say Bailey's.
Yeah, it says no Bailey's here, 732. He just said no Bailey's. What do you mean by that? Are you at Bailey's?
Maybe he doesn't know any Bailey's, even though he camps there for years. I don't know.
Yeah, we are booked at Bailey's for 3. Yeah, well, it's Bayleys, but anyway, it makes a difference.
Yeah.
But anyway, go see Galen. Tell him that you heard about the place on RVing in New England, and maybe he'll give you some free firewood, etc.
We should plug his business too. VF Auto Service in Agawam, which was that your birthplace, or you just lived there for a while?
Well, nobody can be born in Agawam because there's no hospital.
Oh.
But you're born in Springfield, then you move to Agawam.
So nobody delivers at home in Agawam?
Well, not anymore. Now, up until 2 weeks ago. Then they went to the hospital. But Frank is kind of a traitor, though. Okay, he's a nice guy, but he's kind of a traitor because his office and facility is in Agawam, but he lives in West Springfield. And you know the way Michigan and Michigan State are ultra rivals? Okay, well, that's right. You live in West Springfield. Okay, so he takes money out of Agawam and spends it in West Side. And they have a bitter rivalry in football every year. But it's always a thing that if you're from West Side, you're a little bit different than an Agawamite. And since he is Italian, there's a lot more Italians in Agawam. So,
hey, I got a question for the group, since we have such a good group tonight. Have you noticed any difference in RV service this year? We've spent a lot of money getting new technology. And I'm just curious if when you call your dealer, are you getting in for service quicker? Is it being done better? Or is it still trying to improve but hasn't reached your level of satisfaction yet?
Yeah. Well, let me mention something on that because we have some friends that are up here. They're in not Old Orchard. They're in Rye, New Hampshire right now, and they're having some trouble with their steps. They called a couple local places and weren't able to get in. So I called Bernie and said, Bernie, can you help me out? And he was able to get them into Campers Inn in Merrimack. And they're getting new steps installed tomorrow. So, there was a backup. So there still is a backup. We had to kind of use a little bit of influence to get in, but Bernie took care of us. And we thank Bernie for that. Ford, yes. Camping World, no. Oh, that's interesting. The Ford dealership for his truck, Dante says, he has service backups, but Camping World, no. Interesting.
Well, not his truck. He's got the Georgetown motorhome.
Oh, okay, but that's got the Ford engine. The Ford engine,
and that's interesting because a lot of auto dealers don't want to work on motorhomes.
Yeah, so he's on a Ford. Okay,
so he hit the jackpot there.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, Bob, we're talking about mid-season checkup is what we're talking about here. I want to let people know about some events coming up in New England for the next few months, and they're multiple and they're all over New England. And number one, the county fair season has begun. I know up in Cheshire, New Hampshire, there was just one last week. And if you just Google New England county fairs, you'll get lists. You could go to one or two every weekend from now to just about Columbus Day.
Isn't there a big one up in Newburyport?
Yeah, the Topsfield Fair.
Topsfield Fair, yeah.
Topsfield Fair. That's a little later in the season. But the good part about county fairs is that they always have ample RV parking. And, you go there, and every time we've gone to one, we've always said, hey, can we stay over? And nobody has refused us that opportunity to stay over yet. So they're all over the place. They're in Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire.
Oh, don't forget the Freiburg Fair up in Maine.
Yep.
That's huge.
Yep, that's a big one.
And they got, 2,000, I think they have 2,000 RV spots across the street. Yeah.
I know a lot of the spots are taken by the vendors, just like at the Big E. There's a lot of the vendors that take the spots. But the other thing is similar but a little bit different is balloon festivals. We're at the balloon festival season now. And last Friday, my wife, daughters, and granddaughters were all going to a shower that I wasn't invited to. So I said, hey, it's good weather. I'm not sitting around here. So I grabbed the RV and went up to Pittsfield, New Hampshire for a balloon festival. And the traffic on 495 was backed up from Lowell to Topsfield, right where it hits 95.
Right.
nonstop. So they sent me up the back roads. And as soon as I got there, I heard thunder, and the first thing they did was cancel the balloon festival. So I said, "Oh, I'm not going back." So I went back, and there was a big rest area in Hooksett, New Hampshire. Probably many of you have been there. And I stayed there and was thinking of coming back to Worcester. And then I looked and I said, wait a minute. I stopped in the tourist place there and had a brochure for moose hunting, a moose safari. So I said, well, you know what? Let's go to a moose safari up in Lincoln, New Hampshire, right on the Kangamangas Highway. So I called him in the morning. The guy says, I only have one spot left, but come anyway because there's always a no-show. So I get there, 6 o'clock at night, and they're all set to go. And then you know what? Everybody who was going to show up showed up. So there was no room for the moose safari. So I get back in the motorhome and drive 100 miles south back to Hooksett, New Hampshire. So 2 nights, I spent both nights in a roadside rest area. One night there was torrential rain, which is cool, but you don't want the rain to start when you're half asleep. So by the time you figured out where the vent was to close and where the water was coming from. But you know what? Balloon festivals, they're all over the place. I think this week or next week is the big one up in Lewiston, Maine. It'll be their 30th anniversary.
Oh, the Auburn-Lewiston Balloon Festival?
Yep, which wasn't going to be held because they kind of went bankrupt, and then the city took it over. So that'll be something to see. A city, the government.
I still haven't seen that one.
Yep. They have about 100 balloons there, so that's a big event.
Pretty good size.
And then in September, there's the Glens Falls one, which is one of the biggest, about 200 balloons in Glens Falls, New York, just north of Saratoga. So that's a cool one to go to, too.
Don't forget the Big E coming up.
Yep, you got the Big E. That's usually the second or third
week in September. Yep.
Oh. How about you folks that are watching? Do you have any balloon festivals planned? Do you have any county fairs planned? Is there like right here in Worcester this weekend? There's in Bolton Fair, and then Labor Day weekend is the Spencer Fair, and then the next weekend is the Sterling Fair if they're having it this year. But
Bolton Fair is a good one for little kids, unless they've changed it at all. But there's a ton of animals.
The little kids that love the animals.
Farm-related stuff.
Animals. So Don says Freiburg is awesome. And, Dante said they have a commercial division at his dealership. Okay. So that's good. So tell us where you guys are heading. It's always nice to hear from our audience where they're going, because one thing about the RV community is they're always willing to share ideas.
Well, it's, doing the mid-season is always kind of, anticlimactic. I mean, we're halfway through the season. Next thing you know, we're going to be talking about Labor Day.
Labor Day is 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
So,
so
more than halfway through the season.
Is anybody going anyplace special on Labor Day weekend, or are your kids back in school and you're going to be limited on where you can go or doing the long weekends?
Yeah. Well, Bob, based on the demographic of this audience, I think grandkids is the more important phrase to use than kids.
Oh, yeah, they probably do go more with their grandkids.
Yep, exactly. So what do we got? October 13th to Wisconsin, then start the journey to Daytona. Wow. Dante, you're going to be gone for a long time.
I think his daughter's out there. I think he's got a relative out in
East Texas State. You know what? I'll bet you those state fairs in Texas are something to go to, because they're probably so much bigger than they are up here in the Northeast.
Where's Travelers Woods?
And I don't know where Travelers Woods
is. Is that the one in Sturbridge that used to be the old Yogi Bear?
No, I don't think that's
Pine something. No, that's Pine something.
No, Pine Acres is up here near Worcester.
There he goes. No, that's
Dante has grandkids.
Frank,
tell us where Travelers Woods is. If Walter Johnson was with us tonight, he'd already know the answer. He's our research assistant.
Who?
Walter.
He's on?
No, he would tell us if he was on. He would already have.
Oh yeah, he'd have the answer for us,
No.
right?
So, but the thing with RVers is they share ideas. Sometimes they share them when you don't even want to. We plan to be in Athens, Texas for the foreseeable future. Okay.
Oh, there's Frank. Frank gives you the answer right there.
Bernardston. Wow.
That's out west, isn't it?
By Greenfield.
Mohawk Trail?
Is that new, Frank? Is that new? A new place, Bob, where we lost you again with the sun?
Oh, yeah. Making you take that down all the way.
What?
The shade. It's blotting me out of the picture. Let me see if I can get my assistant to correct the shades.
Yeah. No, she's going the wrong way right now.
I don't usually have an assistant.
Unpaid.
The unpaid assistant. See, I don't usually have an assistant because I'm locked up in my office. But she can't get away tonight because we're in a hotel room.
Right. Zagami, she's not right. Don't pay her yet.
She's coming.
Don't pay her yet.
Slow, but she's coming.
Bob is wanting.
Now the question is, does she remember?
Oh, here it is.
She was looking for the switch. So she came
Hey!
back. All right.
There we go.
All right. You win twice.
How much do I get
No,
paid for that?
no. That's fine. Little dark, but that's all right.
You get to drive tomorrow, man.
If you can.
You get to drive tomorrow.
Just a little bit.
Oh, a Shriners operated campground. Okay. Travelers Woods is not new.
All
I've
right.
never heard of
That's
it.
good.
All right. So
Small
I guess-
campground. Okay.
Bonus. What's that, John?
It's Travelers Woods is a Shriners operated campground. It's not new and it's small. So haven't heard of it.
Yeah.
But I found some interesting news that the Berkshire Vista campground, a clothing optional campground, is now closed.
Yeah, they're building a glamping location.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Clothing optional?
Yes.
Yeah, was that the one in Massachusetts or New Hampshire?
Yeah. No. It's right out. It's in Hancock.
Oh my God.
Right out on the line by south of Pittsfield.
Yeah, we were going to send John out to do a story.
I did go.
He wouldn't take his clothes off.
I did go.
You did go.
I stayed in the car, though. I'll tell you that. But we went to a
People who are willing to take off their clothes in public have bodies that you don't want to look at.
that I couldn't bear to stay open. I'm telling you. Oh, good, Tony. But Marcia Galvin had invited us to a Massachusetts Campground Association meeting that I went down to cover for this show down at in Foxborough there, the Bass Pro Shop in Foxborough. Mm-hmm. And there are a couple people there that said, oh, you need to come out to our place. And, we'd love to host you and all that other stuff. So we were going to a Dolly Parton concert at Tanglewood. So I arranged to take a trip through there. And I couldn't get out of there fast enough.
Dolly Parton was at Tanglewood?
Yeah, a couple years ago.
Yeah,
well, probably 5 years ago now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'd never been to Tanglewood before and haven't been back since. But Berkshire Vista is no longer. So anyway, what else? What else is going on?
What does Tony got to say here? What does he say?
They couldn't bear to stay open.
Oh God, Tony, he's got more lame jokes like that. Tony, we got to get you back on. This is his 10th anniversary. Also, we did Mark and Julie Bennett 2 weeks ago for their 10th anniversary of RV Love. So maybe when you're done with the Frog Rally, we can get you and Peggy back on, and we'll do a 10th anniversary of stressless camping.
Did you drive? Do you have the camper with you, Tony? Did you drive it out from New Mexico?
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did. Seeing that he's got a rock with
just 5 years. 5 years for Tony, not 10 years. 5 years.
5. Oh,
yeah, 5 years.
Then we'll make 10 years before he does, because we have to go back and check that original date. So make sure that we don't do a 10th anniversary show on our 9th anniversary or vice versa.
Considering we have a 4-year head start on him, I don't think he's going to beat us.
So 5, he would be honored. Well, at 5 years, you have to pay twice the fee to come on the show, Tony. But we'll work something out with you. What is he saying?
It's already been being repaired, and now we can pick it up. Oh, okay. It's already here being repaired, and now we can pick it up. Okay. Tony, you
He's
must
gonna
be
rock it. Yes.
superstar status. They just give you a new one every couple of years, so you don't even have to bother with that.
Right.
Whatever. So he must
Now,
have.
I assume he hasn't even he's been talking all night here. He hasn't even mentioned Peggy. She's probably sitting right next to him, because I don't think he'd go to the frog rally without her.
He could be at a bar with Willie Nelson too.
Right.
You never know. He'll say something. And Palanga's got quiet.
So let me ask this question as we kind of wind down here. We got about 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
Has
She's
anybody
right
gone
here.
someplace this year that they were really excited about, only find out that it was bombed and it was terrible? Or did you go someplace that you thought might be okay, but it's going to be a good trip, and it was spectacular? So did you find any hidden gems, or did you find some places that
Yeah.
maybe the others don't want to go to?
Or did you stumble across a few places like we did up in Canada that were just absolutely spectacular with no reservations? We had an opportunity. And folks, I'll tell you guys this.
Yeah, I told you, Peggy's sitting right next to him.
Yep. She's sitting right here. Yes, PEI sucked. Oh, you guys drove up there with the whole gang, right? How many units did you have, Frank? 6 or 7 units?
You had bet.
And they went up.
Didn't it suck because you had bad weather, Frank? Or were they just bad campgrounds?
Page, Arizona was a
I
big.
bet it didn't stop Frank from cooking up a storm. I bet it didn't interfere with their
Units, okay.
eating
Yeah.
schedule.
Yeah, we were following their journey on Facebook as they headed up. I think they went up to Maine, then across New Brunswick over to PEI. And now, Frank, you'd be interested in knowing that when I went to PEI in July of 77, there was no bridge, and you had to take here's a funny story. I think it's funny. Hopefully you guys will too. We were on our way to through New Brunswick to get to the port to take the ferry to PEI. So somehow we get off the road, and my wife said, "Oh, there's a forest over there. Let's go through the forest." So we go through the forest, and now we're stuck in the middle of the forest. It went from a 2-lane paved road to a 1-lane paved road to a 1-lane dirt road, but there was a sign saying Ranger Station ahead. So I said, I better go ask for directions. So I pull into the ranger station and knock on the door. A person comes out, and I said, how far is it to the town, whatever the town was, Torpentine or something like that? I said, how far is it to get there? And the person says, well, where are you now? That's what my answer was. Where are you now? I'm expecting them to tell me 2 things. Number 1, where the heck we were. And number 2, how long it took for us not to be there, but to be over where the ferry was. But now they have, I think it's a 5 or 6 mile bridge that goes right from New Brunswick, or maybe it's Newfoundland, one of the two, over to Prince Edward Island. And that ride back is a long ride back because you're all the way up in Holton, Maine, if I recall.
Yeah, I don't think Frank's group took the ferry, did they? Did they?
No,
They
that
just
would
drove-
have cost them an arm and a leg
Yeah,
to take the.
it's expensive now. Now every time, every week they get a 25 or 30% off. You'd think they'd figure out that the prices are too high and maybe they should lower them permanently.
Yeah. But I will tell you one other thing that we did, and maybe you guys can have an opportunity to do it. If you ever get up into Ontario, there's two big. There's a lot of lakes up there, but there's 2 big canals. The Rideau Canal, which goes from Ottawa down to Thousand Islands, and then the Trent Severn Waterway, which goes from Peterborough up to way up in the northwest part of Ottawa. But there are people that take it's lakes and locks, where these boats traverse it for the whole summer. And last time we were there 2 weeks ago, we pulled up right next to the locks and parked the RV. One night we were in a campground, which was only $50 with free firewood, believe it or not. And the next night the prior night, we were just there, parked in a small town called Bobcaygeon, Ontario. So
Tony's piping in with Big Pleasant, and then he says, thought it wouldn't amount to much, but then it turned out to be terrific. Where is it, and what was so terrific once you got there, Tony? And I guess that's
it's the answer.
That's a story he did on it in Stressless Camping. So if you haven't checked out Tony's site, Tony and Peggy,
Yeah.
stresslesscamping.com. He's got podcasts, he's got recipes, he's got all kinds of things. And the only thing you have to endure is a picture of Tony once you log in. But
And when you say endure, Bob, you mean endure.
that was a nice word. Yeah.
That was probably the nicest. Tony, we love you, but you're no John DePietro.
It was it was like Sedona,
But
crowded. What does it say? Crowded essentially?
but
Did
crowded
they
essentially.
have concerts
Jason
there?
Cole had a great time in New Jersey. Weren't they in Delaware? I thought they were in Delaware. Maybe he stopped in Jersey on the Jersey Shore along the way.
I don't know.
Another fantastic show, guys. See you all next week. Heading over to cover the finale of RV Unplugged Season 2. And
Are you in Auburndale? No, he said he's in
Texas.
Elkhart. No, isn't he in Elkhart? Tony's in Elkhart.
No, but that was
That's the
Hawes.
the frog rally's coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it's going on right now because this was the week.
That was Don Hawes that said another fantastic show going over to. Okay, so it is on 8:00. No,
Yeah,
it's the
Jason
finale of isn't it the finale? That's the finale of season 2.
Right.
Don.
That's
Yeah.
what he says.
Oh yeah, it's my new glasses. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, he's mixing that up. Yeah, I messed up. But folks, we want to just thank you so much for taking time from your Wednesday nights, because many times when you've done the show for as long as we've done it, you can have a tendency to expect X number of people to be there. But we realize everybody's doing a million different things. The Olympics are on tonight. There might be some political stuff going on tonight. There are many, many things that you can be doing. But we appreciate the time because you make the show. And it's not really us. We bring guests on periodically, but the fun shows are when our audience is the guest, because I believe that we are the only show in the country with a live audience, with audience participation. There's plenty of shows out there that, have a couple talking and they say, honey, what are you doing today? Well, I'm going to chop down trees. What are you doing? Well, I'm going to do some needlepoint. And then she does her needlepoint and he chops his trees down, or she does the chopping of the trees and he does the needlepoint, whatever the case may be. But we appreciate the fact that you stay with us. And
Yes, we do. And because you stay with us, we have to be on our game every week. So we get just as excited as you are to get ready for the show. And even if we're not ready until a minute before the show, we manage to figure out how to pull it off.
Yeah. And I think what we're going to do, Bob, and I'm thinking of this right now as we speak, because as the audience knows, we never rehearse. We don't really talk and say, okay, at 7:20, we're going to do this. At 7:15, we're going to do this. At 7:40, we're going to do this. It just like Bob says, we hit the button at 7:01 and at 7:59, we turn it off. And who knows what goes on in the meantime. But Bob, let's do this. Let's ask our viewers to, if they've got a 2-minute video of their events that they've gone to. Like if Tony takes some pictures at the Frog Rally, okay, and then sends them in.
Yeah, two minutes.
Video.
And we'll do a whole show on your summer adventures. But
Yep.
try to
Frank.
keep it under 2 minutes, and
Yep.
we'll have a bunch of them there. Just send them to me, and I will put my email.
RW Zagami at
Oh,
gmail.
no, yeah, send them to my Sagami.
I could totally do that. So, Tony, take a picture of the frog stuff. You know what? If there's some people that you want to interview, or if there's people dressed crazily, whatever it is, let's just have some fun with this. We'll have some new segments called, viewer mail or viewer video. How about this one, Bob? Viewer video.
How about we call it Candid Camping?
Candid camping. Okay. Just folks, remember, don't go up to somebody's RV that doesn't know you're there and take pictures of them, because you might find yourself with a black eye.
It has to be you in your RV and your family. Tony, send me your
Contact.
contact. I got Tony's contact information. Yeah.
You have an FR3.
Yeah, maybe you can do a spot. Now, I'm not going to be here next week because I'm actually going to enjoy my vacation in Maine. So Uncle Bernie will be sitting in my seat. But maybe if the frog rally is next week, maybe Tony can dial in for 5 minutes and just give you a quick update.
Yep, we can do that. Kevin is still here. Kevin stayed with us the whole time, or Kevin got on and got off?
He did.
One of the two.
What do you call it?
He said, "Talk soon, Nervda."
Oh, talk soon, Nervda. Oh, all right. Thanks, Kevin.
Kevin, are you going to be in? Kevin, you going to be in Hershey?
Of course, he's going to be in Hershey.
Hershey.
Even Boston will be in Hershey.
Yeah. So anyway, Bob, you hit that button on that video, and I will say see you next week with Bernie. Bob will see you in a couple weeks. God knows where he'll be in a couple weeks.
And I'm going to hit the sponsors commercial and then the closing statement. So be safe out there, and we will catch up to you soon.
Hey, it's Joe from 1019 POR and John, Joe, and Courtney. We're back for another exciting season of Seacoast RV TV. Today's episode is brought to you by the letter W.
As in Winnebago. Did you know that Seacoast RV is once again the award winner of the Flying W Award, which recognizes Winnebago dealer locations that deliver the highest service excellence and superior customer satisfaction? Don't mean to brag, but we're kind of a big deal. Speaking of Winnebagos, how about the Winnebago Access? Come on inside and take a look around. Modern and spacious interior, easier camp setup with all the deluxe features and an outstanding value? You get it all with the Winnebago Access. You know, with so many different models to choose from, though, it can get so scary and confusing. I feel like I need some help.
Hi, I'm Amanda. Welcome to Seacoast RV. How can I help you today?
Selection, service center, and a huge parts and accessory department. No wonder Seacoast RV is once again Winnebago's Flying W Award winner, their highest honor. Find the perfect RV or towable for you and your family with one stop, Seacoast RV. Easy to find, Route 1 in Saco.
Seacoast RV.
I'm Jackson.
This edition of RVing in New England was a presentation of the New England RV Dealers Association. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.